What's up, everybody? I guess I'm live. I think I am. Yes. Just got finished watching the State of the Union. I'm sure many of you guys did as well. I thought it was very interesting. Like, this is different. I'm actually very curious to see what the Democrats are going to say whenever they come out. Of course, they're going to say something negative. They always seem to do that. Nancy Pelosi will probably say something negative. But I would say, in the grand scheme of things, man, the Democrats were kind of standing and cheering and clapping and stuff like that. I was really surprised, to be honest, about that. I'm more of a centrist, but I don't really favor left or right, but I don't know. It seems like the State of the Union went pretty well for Trump tonight. I wish that guy would get a hold of his Twitter handle. Seemed way more reasonable than the guy on Twitter, that's for sure. My goodness. So there was a couple things that stood out to me, and I know this is kind of like on a whim, but it seems like it's a good time to do it whenever it's fresh in my mind. Let me go pop over here. Move this around. So I was watching this one little bit right here. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's going to be hard for me to find these things like on a whim like this, but I think it's somewhere up in here. Nah. It's going to be really hard for me to find this. But it's just interesting where they've placed Nancy Pelosi in this scene here. Because Nancy Pelosi's in the background. I don't know what that lady's done. What that lady's done. I mean, she's had some procedures done. My goodness, she looks plastic. But there's a lot of scenes like this that I think are really positive for Trump. Really positive for the United States, to be honest. That you have Democrats actually standing and clapping for some of the things that he was saying, which seems to indicate there's a lot more common ground than the newspapers would have you believe. Or maybe Fox News or CNN even. They're both CNN, Fox News, man, it's like, ugh, talk about negativity from both directions on watching those shows. But yeah, I mean, you see stuff like this, the Democrats actually standing up and applauding for different pieces of his speech. Man, that kind of gives me some hope. Almost makes me not want to watch the Democratic response, to be honest. Yeah, and if you didn't watch this whole thing, Buzz Aldrin was here right in the very beginning. Let's see if I can find that. He does mention Buzz Aldrin a few times, or a couple times, I believe. No, he mentions him once, I think. But look, here's Buzz Aldrin right there. I think this little girl right here survived cancer, if I remember correctly. This poor kid falls asleep during the middle of the thing. But anyway, I didn't want to take too much time on this, to be honest. It was a quick off-the-cuff shoot the breeze. But the one thing, going back to Nancy Pelosi, man, she just shakes her head at everything. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. And I don't know if she's like got some type of nervous tick going, or if she's actually shaking her head. 'Cause she shakes her head no, as in a negative, like body language for things that are very positive. It's very bizarre. I want to go back and rewatch this again because there's so many memeable moments in here. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, and Trump's tie is a little crooked too. That's another thing that's going to come up, I'm sure, in Saturday Night Live. Anyway, I wanted to find that one spot where Trump said something about children. I wish I could find it. I mean, he was talking about it was during that portion whenever he was talking to reasonable people would say that's late term abortion is not a good thing, but he said something about children being Precious or something like that. And Nancy Pelosi's like sitting in the background with a smirk on her face, like shaking her head. I'm like, oh my God, this lady. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so there's a lot of good moments in here. If you just scrub through, if you haven't watched the whole thing and you just scrub through, there's a whole bunch of places where Trump says something that a lot of Democrats actually like. And I think that's a very positive thing to see Democrats standing up and clapping for him. There's one part where he was talking about women in the workforce, and basically all these congresswomen right here all stand up and clap for him. And I don't know if they're clapping for him or at least they like what he's saying. Maybe that's why they're standing up and clapping. But I mean, there's all these different scenes here where a lot of Democrats seem to be even kind of bucking the system a little bit, because Nancy Pelosi's not standing up, but these Democrats are, and I don't know. I have this. It's kind of I think it's a positive thing. You know, I'm not one for the left and right. I don't like the whole left and right thing. I don't like being a Republican or being a Democrat. I'm in the middle. I wouldn't say I'm even in the middle. I'm just different. I'm libertarian. And I guess probably politically I am in the middle a little bit. But I don't like taking sides like that. But I definitely think whoever is our president, we should support that person and hope for the best, you know, and try and support them to actually make some progress. And I've been kind of worried about with the whole government shutdown and the way things have been going in the media, that it's just been, you know, one party is resisting the other party's agenda. And that's really what, you know, nothing's getting done with the government. And I would even say that shutdown kind of shows us that we don't necessarily need the government all that much. But the government has to at least make some progress, right? And so it's good to see that there are some Democrats standing up. I don't know how long that'll last, but it was at least a good indicator, in my opinion. Lewis Hackett says he can't hear the video. It's freaking desktop audio, man. It's terrible. It never makes sense why it doesn't show up, but it doesn't really matter. There's nobody really talking. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of put my 2 cents out there while this thing was still fresh. Quick shoot the breeze. Pretty much it. Not much more to talk about. Let's see if anybody's in the chat wanting to say anything. Gene says, evening. How you doing, Gene? Sebastian, hello. Bactard, hello. Jose, hello. Stringer News. So much winning. Make it stop. Flat Out says she's the shaking head of the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't know, man. If I were the Democrats, I would get rid of Nancy Pelosi. She's just so negative for them. She's just such a negative vibe, man. It doesn't really matter what her agenda is. She's just, the way she presents herself, she's just, comes across bad for lefties. That's for sure. If I were on the left right now, if I were a Dem, I would be wanting a more center of the road, like leader right now. Somebody that can actually work with the other side of the government and get stuff done and actually get stuff accomplished for my side, like what I want to get accomplished, get that accomplished by working with the Republicans. Because right now what they're doing is they're just shutting everything down, not getting anything accomplished. Even though Trump's economy is booming, that's the truth. You can't really argue with that, to be honest. Michael Jordan, hello, how are you doing? Nathan Grant says, Trump perpetuated the birther conspiracy, an utter vile act of racism. I think that's speculation. I don't think he really perpetuated it, more as he agreed with it. I don't know. I wouldn't say he perpetuated it. I don't think Trump's really vile. I don't think he's vile. I think he comes across harsh. Definitely on Twitter he does. I don't agree with his whole Twitter handle is a little, ugh. Man, if this guy that spoke tonight was also the guy responsible for Twitter, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But I personally think he's doing himself a disservice by being on Twitter because it's his one comment to a million detractors. You know, it just doesn't sound like a good idea to me. But of course, I'm not him, and he's not a typical politician, so you would expect something a little different, I guess, out of him. Nathan Grant, I would drop that whole thing, dude. That's ancient. That's years ago. Why is he building a wall? I've debated my family on this one as well. I don't know. I don't know where I sit with the wall. A wall would definitely help prevent migration, obviously, but I'm not sure if it makes more sense to spend the money on the technology. If the technology is built into the wall to prevent people from crossing with drugs, then I would say yeah, it makes sense. $4 billion sounds like a lot of money, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not. I don't know. It's a weird one, and I also have family that my ancestry is are immigrants. So I mean, I think what we want to promote is legal immigration of highly skilled individuals, and what we have right now is illegal immigration and drug smuggling, and something has to be done. I'm not sure if the wall is the correct answer, but I think it would help. I mean, we all have fences, we all have walls. It makes sense. Anyway, if Nancy Pelosi were my team's leader, I would be looking elsewhere. That's for sure, because she just comes across very negative for the Dems. Even though I would support some of her agendas, I mean, I don't have any. I guess I would say I'm liberal as socially liberal. I'm socially liberal and fiscally conservative, libertarian, typical libertarian. Do what you want with your life as long as it doesn't infringe on my rights, type thing. And I think that some of her agendas on the left might fit into that category. But boy, she doesn't do a good job presenting them. She just looks mean. She looks like that mean cat lady that lives right down the street and nobody ever talks to. Anyway. All right, opinionating over. Nathan Grant, Trump doesn't come across as a racist lying con man either. That is left-wing propaganda right there. That's what I sit in the middle and I hear people say these things and it's silly. It's silly. He's not a con man. He's freaking making his economy is working, period. Is that because he's a con man? No, it's because he actually knows what the hell he's doing. It's crazy. America deserves to suffer for that, man. It's extreme, Nathan. Really extreme right there. I wonder why there's people like in other countries that are, actually pro-Trump. And that is happening right now. People in the streets that are pro-Trump. Why is that? I mean, not everybody agrees about Trump. He's a cowboy. Some people like him, some people don't. But I don't think it's a little extreme to say that he's a amoral person. It's just too extreme. Stringer News 1. It's not Obama's economy. That's ridiculous. Nathan Grant is deadly serious. The man is filth. It's horrible that anybody would support him. Well, we got two opposing opinions. How about Stringer News and Nathan Grant? You guys want to come on and debate this out? Or it's not Stringer News. Who was it that was... Burning Beard. Burning Beard and Nathan Grant. You guys want to come in here and debate this stuff? It doesn't have to be right now. I think it's funny what I'm seeing in the chat right now. Like two extremely opposed views. Well, see, we have one person calling another person a libtard. So it would be entertaining, to say the least. Yes, let's do it. Nathan Grant, you're calling me a racist now? That's a little extreme just because I don't hate Trump. Jeez. Anyway. Okay, well, I'm just going to shut it down. Might as well. Anyway, I think it went pretty well for Trump tonight. And I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there just about while it's fresh that, and before the Democrats came out with their response that, hey, a lot of the Democrats were actually very supportive of Trump, or at least what he was saying. Maybe not him personally, but what he was saying. And I think that's positive for the United States. Maybe we can actually all sit down and actually have a discussion now instead of shutting down the government. One can hope. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.